Hi, Mrs. Kim. I just want to start off with thank you for your time, your willingness to be part of this project. So I'll first ask you questions about your personal story and how you became an RN, and then ask you for advice you would give to others wanting to become an RN.
Okay.
So the first question is, how and why did you become a registered nurse in the States and not a job related to your English and literature degree that you received in Korea?
Okay, hi, my name is Miki. I'm a nurse for 8 years. Actually, I studied English literature in Korea. But after moving to America, I think about my new job. As an immigrant, I need a practical job. But with my major, there's no benefit to find a job because everybody in America they spoke much better than me. So I should think about the new job totally, but it's practical to find a good job. That's why I choose the RN.
What was the process of becoming a registered nurse?
Okay, to be a nurse, I should study at the beginning because my old major it doesn't have any related classes with RN. I never studied biology, mathematics, or science during my college life, so I should study at the beginning. So even English. So that's why it took a long time. So yeah.
So do you think your English and literature degree helped you in any way?
Many people think my English major would be helpful to learn to study the nursing during the college, but actually my English was so bad. Even speaking or reading, it's not that good, not better than any other people. So I don't think it is helpful to study the nursing.
So you said how long have you been an RN?
Since 2008.
2008, okay. Can you describe a typical day as an RN?
Right now, I'm working at the dialysis center. Dialysis center, the patient, they had end-stage renal failure. That means their kidney it doesn't work at all. So I need to clean the blood, and also they have lots of fluid in their body. So remove the fluid and clean the blood. That's the major thing. So I start my work from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. So around 11 or 12 hours I'm working.
How often? How many times a day do you work?
The ESRD patient, they should have a dialysis treatment three times a week. So my work, my schedule is the same like that. So 3 times a week I work.
What types of medical conditions do you deal with the most often?
Okay, the major reason of the losing kidney function is the hypertension and diabetes. So most of the patients have that problem. Some patients have their blood pressure is 200, over 200. Many people think 200, I couldn't believe, but that's many people it's normal for them. So to control the blood pressure, and then to restrict the fluid because the kidney cannot remove the fluid, and also the diabetes control. So I should educate how to control the hypertension, diabetic, and also because of that, many lung problem and heart problem, they also have together. So my patient have that kind of problem.
Okay. What do you like the most and least about your job?
Pardon?
What do you like the most and least about your job?
Can I see your? Like the most, okay. The most is that if my patient they come to my center 3 times a week. So our personal relationship is very close. But if I work at the general hospital, nearly every day the assigned patient can be changed. But in my center, every day the same patient. So we can our care can be continued, and then more comfortable. So I always think about how they feeling comfortable during the treatment, because we are like a family like relationship. And the least is that they have a serious problem, so frequently I should meet their deaths, some of them. So deaths to meet their deaths is I don't like this condition.
What is the most valuable lesson you've learned about your career?
The valuable lesson, I'm dealing with a life, so I'm so sorry. Just a second. Okay, the valuable lesson. Okay, the valuable lesson I learned from my job is that from the patient, even though they have a very serious condition, they do not depressed. Many people have a depression, but also another part, many people have very optimistic. They thank God for their life, and then for their life, the rest of their life, they really want to be happy and a good relationship with the family and friend. So if I were their condition, for example, the kidney failure or heart or lung condition, maybe every day I would be cry and then be depressed. I don't like to meet my friend and my family, but no, they look really happy. Their face is fantastic. So some patient already every day she told me that, oh, God bless you, what a good day. So whenever I heard that, oh, our life is full of the grace. So I don't need to be depressed. I don't need to be worried about things because I'm healthy. So from their attitude about the life, I should be more optimistic in my life, and also I also be happy with my friends and the family.
What do you think are the 3 most important qualities a person should have when going into the field of medicine?
Okay, this is a professional job, so I think the knowledge is the basic. So some nurses, the patient asks some question they couldn't answer. I think it's not good for the nurses' quality. So the knowledge is the basic, and also to dealing with the life, the nurse should have a responsibility, very high responsibility. If the nurse doesn't show up on the field, who cares the patient? So even though I feel sick, or sometimes I have another urgent condition happen, I try not to leave the floor. So responsibility is very important. And also as a professional, time management is very another good point. Some nurses, it's the same amount of the job load. Some nurses very relaxed. Some nurses very hasty and busy. Why? I think some the nurses who feel the relaxed is that they set the priority of their job. So which one is the most important and or which one is the least. So the time management is good for to be a good nurse.
Have you made any sacrifices in becoming an RN, such as like spending less time with your family or anything?
Actually, I don't feel any sacrifice as a nurse because nurse has enough time because only 3 days a week I'm working. So that means 4 days I'm free. So for another 4 days I can do for my family and with my friends. So I don't feel any sacrifice. And also and the nurses the schedule is really flexible, so nursing is very good for the especially as a mom.
Are there some things you wish you had known before becoming an RN?
Pardon?
Are there some things you wish you would have known before you became an RN?
What are the something you wish you knew before pursuing your career? Okay. English is okay. To study the nursing, the most hard one is the language, because as an immigrant, the culture is different, and the medical terminology is really hard to memorize and understand. For example, I knew only the Tylenol or aspirin. I didn't know what is ibuprofen, what is Imodium, but it's really common medication in America. But I didn't know, especially diarrhea, diabetes, high blood pressure. Every terminology was really new thing to me. But Americans, they know all of this terminology. Why? Because from the baby, they heard a lot of this word, but it was rare to me as English terminology. So if I knew this kind of a medical terminology before the nursing, it would be a little bit easier to study.
Would you say it's harder for people who immigrated here to become an RN versus people who were born here and became an RN?
But later, even though terminology is very hard, but later I found that Americans also have a problem to learn the new anatomy terminology, medical terminology. So that's not the big problem. But as an immigrant, to study the nursing is more benefit. Why? Most immigrants had the passion or eager to find a job or to study. But Americans, they have a lot of choice to find a job because this is their country. So I think the nursing, I really highly recommend to study the nursing, especially as an immigrant, because most immigrants are very passionate to find a job.
How has the career changed since the time you started it? Has there been any changes in the way you've done procedures or anything, or has it been relatively the same?
To find a job?
No, and in the job. So in the job, has there been any changes in procedures or wise or anything?
Can I see how this career changes since time you start?
So when you started it since like 2004, has there been any differences?
Okay. My career started in 2008. At the time, I started to work at the general hospital in the med-surg floor. But 3 years later, I changed it to dialysis. I learned a lot from the med-surg in the hospital, but it was really hard to adjust the new life, new situation. So at the time, I think I didn't work well to time management or to take care of the patient because I was the beginner of the new RN. So, but since I changed to my dialysis center, always the same patient come to the center. So three days a week, I take care of the same patient. But in the hospital, every day the patient are changed. I should study the whole bunch of the patient file. It's hard to know the patient condition in a short time because every day they change it. But in the dialysis, patients are same. So one patient I can study, I can know the detail in details, but in the hospital I didn't. So that's why I love this job.
So what made you become a hemodialysis nurse versus other nurse?
Actually, I didn't think about the hemodialysis, but the person I knew very closely, she recommended me to the dialysis. At the time, I didn't speak English well like this. It's the same. I don't think my English improved for 8 years, for 9 years. But when I had the interview, I think they looked my passion, my attitude. It's not the language. So that's why I didn't have any difficulty to find a job.
So you wouldn't say language is a barrier?
It's not the big problem. So maybe even some people think as an immigrant the language is the most important in the to adjust to the new culture. But I don't agree about that opinion. So I think if you have the passion of the new culture or if you have the attitude to respect each other, you can be welcomed in everywhere.
Okay. What advice would you give to undergraduate students pursuing a degree in nursing?
First, you should love your job. The nursing is not only to make the money. It's nursing is to the job to deal with the life. So you need to have a passion how to deal with the people who need you as a professional, with the professional knowledge, professional attitude like that. So to study as a nursing job, you should have the passion and the responsibility and time management, and also you need to know you need to respect each other between the patient and you, also between the teammates. So if you do not love your teammates, you cannot be a good nurse. So first, love your next person by you. So start from them. Without love, without respect your teammates, you cannot be the good nurse, or you cannot be welcomed in any other the society. So please respect each other.
So you would say unity is a really big factor?
Yes. Okay. And first time, when I become the nurse at the first time, I think the patient is the most important. But later I found that my teammate, my co-worker is most important. So when I have a good relationship with my teammate and then I really have fun to work. So if it is really fun to work, I can do more good thing for the patient. So have a good relationship and then have a to make the good atmosphere in your working place. It's very important to be a good nurse.
Okay, I think that's all the questions. Thank you for your time, Ms. Kim.
Thank you for your all the time and the question. I hope you also have a good professional nurse in your life.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.